Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Doctor Who review, episode 3. Yeah, we got another Dalek one for you. Yes, another story featuring Dalek. This is the follow-up to Genesis Daleks, coming 5 years later. Destiny of Daleks. Yeah, a story that not a lot of people like very much, purely because the fact that it's got the budget was this is so low budgeted, oh my gosh. Now, yes, as in the cover, Deb Ross is here again, making a second appearance in the series. Now, they actually couldn't have the original actor return. Nope, Michael Wisher could not actually appear. Well, there was a reason. Played by David Goodson, and you can notice right away it's not the original actor by his voice. He does look a little bit the same, but I heard the mask he was wearing didn't fit anything in Michael Wisher's face. Now, the reason why he's not here is because he was on tour. Yeah, he was doing a stage play on tour, so he was completely unavailable for this one. Yep. And this was also Terry Nation's last story he ever did with Doctor Who. Now, despite the fact, yes, we have Deb Ross. Well, I'll explain basically how the heck he survived being shot by a Dalek in the last story. Yeah, so basically, the thing starts off quite interestingly with the TARDIS. Oh yeah, and by the way, at the end of Genesis Daleks, when they get back to the time ring, the Doctor, Sarah Jane Smith, and Harry Sullivan go off to the next story, Revenge of the Cybermen, which I'll discuss that in a future video. Now, in the case of this one, they're not here. Yeah, Harry Sullivan left at the start of the following season, and Sarah Jane left at the start of the following season after that one. In the face of evil, in the hand of evil. Yeah. This one we have a brand new companion. Name? Ravana. Yep, a genius female Time Lord. Now, the original actress is not here. Nope. The original actress who played her... Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, now... She's played here by Lila Ward. The original actress who played her was Mary Tim. She played her just for the previous season. And... then she left. Contract reasons. Placed it with Lila Ward, who actually stayed up until Warrior's Gate, which is part of the E-Space trilogy of episodes. Yes. Now, things starts off with the Doctor trying to fix K9. Yep, K9. Yep, the adorable dog. The adorable robot dog. Who mostly has had the same appearance a lot of the time he's appeared. Yep. Now, this is not the original K9. Nope. This is K9 Mark II. And, oh boy, let me explain this. Okay, there was a new producer at this point named John Nathan Turner, and he wanted to downgrade the K9 character. He was technically put the Doctor's dog. And... he was meant for kids, and the kids loved him. Now, this is K9 Mark II. What happened to Mark I? Went out for Leela at the end of the Invasion of Time, which is a great story. It involved Gallifrey being invaded by the Centaurans, which is so awesome to see of the story. Yep. Now, K9's got laryngitis. Somehow a robot caught laryngitis. Yep. And now you probably think, okay... now, on screen, they say, oh yeah, Ravana wants to regenerate. Okay, now this caused some controversy even recently. How many generations should she go through? Well, she eventually telling Lila Ward because she liked her face, and she was the current actress. So, then they arrive on a planet. There's this thing on the TARDIS console known as the randomizer. The randomizer was something introduced at the end of the previous season's show. The reason for it was so the Black Guardian wouldn't track them. Yeah, that's the thing. They actually don't mention the Red Guardian here at all. No, not really. Yeah, the Black Guardian himself, aside from having occasional one-off mentions in Tom Baker's era, after the Key of the Time story arc, the Black Guardian appeared again into a three-parter during Peter Davidson's era, part of the 20th anniversary celebration, which also used the character Turlo. So, the randomizer itself, that was something they actually kept around for a little while until like partway into the final season of Tom Baker's run. That was something that I'm not really sure what was the purpose of the randomizer, but they go to random planets, and the first planet they go to is Skaro. They don't know it's Skaro until someone tells them it's Skaro. Like, this planet looks very familiar. I've been here before. Yeah, if this is Skaro, why the heck is there grassland? Why is there grass? Why is there, like, unfinished building? What the heck happened here? Yeah, this Skaro looks completely different than it last appeared. Like, what the heck happened? Yeah, they mentioned it's been thousands of years since the events of this story. So, they basically are looking at search like, what the heck do we see? Like a pilot. Like, oh, they look at the dead pilot. Like, oh, he's part of some combat squadron that basically is supposed to be far away from this planet. And he died of exposure, which is interesting. And dehydration. Now, the purpose of this is because the Daleks are here. And they're searching for something. What? Not revealed a little bit. So, they wonder about it. And we also see a spacecraft land on a planet. And a very cheap looking effect. Yeah, this looks really cheap. And we see the first appearance of the Malevolence. Yes. This is technically the only story they appear in. They're referenced in the following story, Resurrection Daleks. But after this, they're never seen again. Who are the Malevolence? Well, they'll explain this to like the final part of the story. They're robots. At first, they're allies of the Doctor. Then they turn against them. All because they want what the Daleks want. Which we'll get to it. So, they pretty much look around. They find like a survivor who got spooked. And of course, Ravana got captured by the Daleks. And had to dig around this place. And then eventually they do, in fact, have her... She gets away by faking her death. Well, she can stop one of her hearts. So, they go back down to the bunker. And they go through a secret shaft. And they go into a room, which has like this curtain thing. And what do they find? Davros! Now, how the heck is he here, despite the fact they killed him off in the last story? Well, Davros explains it. They apparently hit his life support system, and apparently put him in sort of like a cryo, almost like a stasis for 1,000 years. And he does recognize the Doctor right away. It's like, Doctor! Yeah, he recognizes him right away. Though this will be the last time. This will be the last story he would see this Doctor. Because every time you see Doctor after this, he would change his face every time. Well, because they kept changing actors, and the fact they kept changing like how long between appearances this guy would make. So, yeah, they kind of debrief him. Oh, and also, this one I thought was so interesting. Now, they don't do this very much in Daleks. Here, they brought in the jelly babies. Now, you're probably thinking, what the heck is a jelly baby? This is sweet associated with the Tom Baker Doctor. Yep, and as you can see from how he dresses, yeah, he's known for this multicolored scarf he wears. He wore this the entire time. For the first 6 years, he basically was Doctor. He wore this scarf. And then the last year, they replaced it with a red and purple scarf, which he hated the scarf. And they also added the question mark on the collar, which is something he also hated. That was something Jonathan Turner did the season after this thing. So, yeah, they basically planned to deal with Daleks. Oh, yeah, they eventually revealed the whole thing about the Melvins being robots. And they also planned to blow up Skaro. I'm like, wow, first alien species that want to blow up the planet Skaro. Would it be the first time? Well, they technically would succeed doing this in the last time the Daleks will appear in the classic era, Revelation of Daleks. Yep. So, They try to get K9, but he's trapped. At one point, the Doctor's trapped by a pillar. Though he's freed by the Malevolence. And this is so funny. Like, he basically digs out a book like Origins of the Universe. And, of course, Ravana's like, don't go anywhere. And he's like, yeah, really? I thought this was so funny. Yeah, and then he's rescued by the Malevolence somehow. They don't really explain it. And he just wakes up on the Malevolence spaceship, explains who they are and what they're doing here. And, of course, they find Devros, and they hide in a room that was not specifically seen. Oh yeah, and Doctor. Oh yeah, I have local knowledge. Despite the fact this place looks nothing like the way he did in Genesis Daleks. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not actually explained. Like, how the heck did Devros even get this location? Because the previous location he was seen looked completely different. I would say the room he was in was similar to the one he was in before he died. Well, it was apparent death, anyways. But we don't see the ruined destruction of the. We don't see the destroyed incubation chamber. Yeah, there's no nods to Genesis Daleks here. None. Aside from like Devros is here, there's nothing really here at all. We see mention of a shaft. Okay, fine. But the plane looks completely different. Yeah, there's no explanation on screen of why the heck the plane looks different. So, of course, there's some fighting. Yes, the Daleks do in fact have this stuff. These are basically explosives that... Oh yeah, we need to get rid of Malevolence. Oh yeah, and why are the Daleks searching for him? And by the way, they're under his command again. Despite the fact they turned against him last story. Well, excuse me. The reason for this is, well, because they need him to solve a problem. They can't beat the Malevolence. They're basically in a stalemate. They've been stalemate for a long time. So he was like, really? This is the reason why he revived me? So, yeah, he basically doesn't like the title of Supreme Dalek. It's like, I'm the only Supreme one here. Yeah. Now, why are they here? Oh, yeah, they say they're another race of robots. And there's a minor nod to the previous story with mention of the Khalids. And the pilot's like, who are the Khalids? He's like, that doesn't matter. I'm like, really? They were featured primarily in the last story. Why the heck Terry Nation did this, I have no idea. I mean, he wrote both stories, and yet he couldn't keep continuity right when it comes to this stuff. So, eventually, of course... Oh yeah, by the way, the slaves that are kept by the Daleks, wow, these people have got blank expressions. Oh, and by the way, these people have no reaction getting executed by Dalek. They're just... oh no, I've been killed. And I'm like, really? Yeah, it's like this not only for the execution sequence what they show in here. They'll show these people briefly battle Dalek. These people, it's like they cast a really terrible actors for this story. With the exception of a few. And of course, they eventually defeat the Daleks. Malevolence was easily taken care of thanks to some warheads attached to their way to somehow deactivate them. All but the leader, which the Doctor himself deals with himself. And then eventually, well, Devros is the only one left. So he is captured by the former slaves, the humans. And he said, and the leader was like, oh yeah, we're legal. We're taking Malevolence spaceship. You gotta be put on trial for crimes against the universe. And we're gonna crowd freeze you. You might wonder how long? 90 years he remained in crowd freeze. And if you're curious though, how long before his next appearance in Resurrection of the Daleks? I think it's about 5 years. Yeah, 5 years later. Like, you bring him back once again 5 years later. Oh yeah, and they changed the actors again. Now this time they actually managed to keep this actor from the following two stories. I will eventually review those other two stories at some point. I love Resurrection Dalek. It's a great story. I'm not really a big fan of the second to last story featuring Dalek in the series. But in the case of Destiny Daleks, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Purely because of how somewhat laughably bad this thing is. Yeah, I mean, Tom Baker is fantastic as always. Yeah, he's always good in really like every story featured. Romana is the new actress is Lila Ward. Here's something a little fun fact when it comes to her. About 3 years after this story aired, she married a doctor. She married Tom Baker, and they were married for about 2 years before they divorced because of bad scheduling. They became good friends since then. So Tom Baker is technically the first and only Doctor to marry one of his companions. The actors did. Yep. Which, like, thinking, really? Yeah, they were actually married. Currently, Tom Baker is not married anymore. No, for some reason, he's no longer married. Yeah, Tom Baker, I think, is still... Well, he's actually married a different woman now. He married a different woman named Sue Jarrett about 4 years afterwards. Yeah. Lila Ward married Richard Dawkins until they separated in 2016. Yeah, and he's like 80. Yeah, Richard Dawkins is 80. Lila Ward currently is 69. I'm looking at a picture like, okay, she looks like there's much change. Tom Baker currently is 87. I'm like, damn, I have a grandmother as old as he is. Yep. But yeah. Now, Genesis Daleks, 10 out of 10. Classic story. Destiny Daleks, I'm going to give this a 8 out of 10 because I just enjoy this thing. Even though it's laughably bad, but it's enjoyable for what it is. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the new actor at all. Yeah, he may not be the original actor, but he does an okay job with I think he does an okay job with his performance as Dev Ross, except he looks kind of weird. That just, my opinion, comes to it is. Yeah. But yeah, not much else to say about this particular story. So yeah, that's a particular review. Stay tuned for my review for the new anime startup, which is Our Last Crusade New World. That'll be up soon. Who knows me today? It may or may not. I don't know. It depends. Okay? See you next video. Bye.